Hey, what's going on, guys? Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing today? Welcome to the Rouser World Live Art Stream Saturday morning. Today is 8/10/24. We're still here today, right? That means that God has blessed us with another day, and we should rejoice and be glad in it. Again, good morning. So glad to have you guys out here today with me. Those that are, I'm sorry, I know I'm a little early this morning, but I have praise and worship practice at 11 o'clock. So I'm going to have to, I want to make sure you guys get your stream, but at the same time, I want to fulfill my obligations to God. So that is why we're going to be doing it a little bit earlier on that. So every other Saturday, usually I usually play, I skip a Saturday or skip a Sunday and then play a Sunday, skip a Sunday, play a Sunday. So you know what I'm saying? All right. So, hey, Cherish, good morning. My top tier Patreon is in the house. I don't know if Artistic Blood Flow is here today as well, or Cosmosis. He has so many different call names, but if you are here, I'm shouting out to you too for being also a top tier Patreon. Thank you so much, guys, for that support that you've been giving us, not just on the Patreon, but in the streams, being active, being participant, being present. It all means a lot because, it's inspiring for me as an artist that is inspiring, right? So, again, I just wanted to tell you I appreciate your help. Thank you so much. Today we're going to be going through a couple of caricature concepts. Those concepts are going to be very simple, just kind of how to help improve likenesses. So I'm going to be working on likeness a lot today. So you're going to hear that word a lot. Also, guys, we are just one or two announcements about what's going on with me personally. I know some of you guys have been riding with me for a while, and of course, this is my, hey, how you doing today, Jermaine? How are you? Good morning, my friend. Good morning. I hope I caught you while you were still eating your cereal, right? All right, so real quick for the announcements, we have a few things going on with me personally that I'd like to let you guys know about because obviously I do, to a large extent, depend on support from my subscribers, followers. And so I like to put that out there in the event that you'd like to help with that. We are currently doing a fund to help to pay for a roof for our home. Okay, we had a situation where several things have gone wrong with the roof all at one time, kind of unexpectedly, and one of them actually being in the office. So I was kind of able to do a little bit of a patch-up job, but it's not going to work very long. So we had already talked to the guy, and the guy gave us basically a $20,000 bill we have to pay. So, I was asking if you guys could help me out with that. So if you guys have feel like that's you and you want to help out with it, whatever you want to donate is cool. Thank you so much. So far, we have raised about I think like $60. So of our goal. So if you guys want to give to that fund, all you have to do is you can do it through Cash App. You can just put roofing fund on there, right? And then we'll go ahead and put that toward that. So as far as the roofing fund, I'm just going to go ahead and put this here for those that are on Facebook as well as YouTube, as well as Kick, as well as Twitch. I'm streaming on all those platforms. We just put $. We'll put Rouser World. So let me just write that out for you real legibly. Okay, you'll know you're there because you'll see my face and my name, right? Okay, so that's our Cash App handle. Also, you may give through the Super Chat, which you guys already know how to use Super Chat. Another way you could also help is by signing up for Patreon. Okay, if you're not one of my Patreon members, right, or even if you're on a free tier, you may want to consider going up to one that's like $5 or something, and it's like only $5 a month, and what the heck, you're getting free art lessons, right? Okay, so you can give through Patreon, which Cherish has already put the information up there, patreon.com/Rouser World. Again, I'm writing this down for you guys that are on Facebook because you can't see my actual screen here because I'm streaming from my phone with that. So I'm going to go ahead and put those two pieces of information here for you so that you can see them. Okay. If you'd like to give to those, thank you very much. Also, stars are available on Facebook. All right. So I think pretty much that's all I have as far as what announcements I need to make. Otherwise, tips are just awesome. If you want a tip too, that's cool. Okay. All right. So, what are we going to be talking about today? Well, we're going to be talking about improving our likeness, right? And so, let me turn this down just a bit. All right. So, likeness. Well, when you draw a caricature, it's nice to know that the person, or have that confidence that your caricature looks like the person. Okay. So, first of all, likeness is a matter of perception. Okay. It is a perception. But generally, I will say this. I will say that we all perceive the person as a whole the same, I think, as far as their appearance, but we may perceive things that look like, as far as caricatures, we'll see things that stand out to us differently about that person. But as a whole person, right, we all kind of perceive the same thing. You know what I mean? What this person overall looks like. You know, for instance, if somebody walked up to us, a detective walked up and says, "Have you seen this person?" Well, then we'll say, "Well, yeah, I know that person, what that person looks like overall." Again, so that doesn't mean that their nose won't stand out to you versus somebody else might say the eyes might stand out and stuff like that. Okay, so what's the most important thing for our likeness? Well, the first thing that you want to do as far as likeness, okay, is I'm going to tell you the number one thing is going to be, in my opinion, would be the shape of your head. Okay. All right, or the shape of whatever it is you're drawing. Okay, so before we get into any type of drawing, okay, we got this picture here that we got several pictures. Okay, what we want to do is I want to break down what I'm saying to you. So let's say we're looking at these shapes here, okay, and while we're looking at these shapes, we say, okay, we want to draw this square here. Okay. Well, does that look like the word likeness? Does it look like a square? Well, yes, it does. It has the four sides, right? Okay. And in order for us to be recognized as the square, it must be shaped as in the overall ideas. With a person is shaped overall like something. A person's head is shaped overall like something. So if you don't get what shape it looks like, right? If I take your face and put it inside of a pickle, right? But you really have this kind of a head shape, well, then it doesn't look like you. It might look like a parody of some kind. It might be one of those insulting caricatures that we see online, but it doesn't look like the person. You get what I'm saying? It's kind of like yeah. Oh, Terrace asked airbrush. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I am actually doing some airbrushing now. I'm actually starting that up as a side hustle. I'm trying to do everything I can to get. So I got my little setup behind me here, which you can't really see because I got this background right here. But I bought some airbrushes and stuff. I got my airbrush bottles. I mix my own paint. I imagine I'll be sharing some of that stuff with you guys. In fact, the shorts on that those airbrush videos are doing actually quite well. I think that it's the sound of the airbrush that people like or something. But I've been practicing my caricatures with the airbrush. You get what I'm saying? So I'm just going with it. You probably seen the one I did of myself yesterday. for my shirt. I did one for my shirt. By the way, I am offering those online too, guys. So if you want an airbrush shirt, holler at me. Good morning, Sly. All right, so let's check this out. All right, so again, likeness is based off of number one. We're going to talk about head shape. Okay, so number two, the likeness is also going to be tied to That's going to be number 2, your features, your individual feature, not FEATURE, feature placement. Okay. So I got to get another marker here. This one's out of ink apparently. Okay. Let's just use this one. Feature placement. Okay. What does that mean? That means that this is the square again. Everybody has 2 eyebrows, 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth. Okay. So in general. Okay. So so how we place those within that square are going to make different people. Okay. So feature placement is going to be number 2. And then number 3 is going to be the size of those features. In other words, I could also draw those same features like this and create a different person. So you have to be aware, you have to consider all of these things when you are drawing, but notice that I put the head shape up top because the head shape is the alpha shape. It is the most important shape that for your drawings. Okay. All right. Let me see. Something's going on here. It's not showing me my messages on Restream. Hold on. Okay, let me see. Okay. Hold on one second, guys. I'm just trying to see what's going on here. Okay. Okay. Well, I guess I'll just kind of hold on one sec here. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get into drawing some caricature, right? Caricature. You guys are. I hope you guys are ready. I'm ready. All right, let me hold on. I'm just gonna have to read my chat from here. All right, and then this one was this one here. Okay. All right, so let's get into it. All right, so we're going to first let's warm up. What better way to warm up? I think a good way to warm up. We did shapes last time, so this is what we'll do. We'll do some eye shapes, right? We'll just do some different eyes. So if you guys want to practice along with me, and this is all, this is just like I said, the warm up, and I'll talk about a few things with the eyes, and then we'll get more into our likenesses. Okay. All right. So I guess we got a couple of different eyes here. You know what? Let's go to let's go to we're gonna stay here. We're not gonna do anything else. We're gonna stay right here. We're gonna stay right here. Who cares? All right. So let's start with these eyes first. All right. So I'm gonna draw these eyes. Okay, this is how I would do these. Make sure that we, and there's several different ways we can do it. Right now, I'm just doing them kind of robotically again so that you can learn. So here, I'm just going to be drawing the upper half of the eye here. Okay, and then once I draw the upper half, I'll draw the eye inside of it like this, right? And then I'll draw my other little eye shape like this, right? Because she has those really starey eyes, right? So I'm going to use a 50% line. And then she also has a bit of like what she has an almondy shaped eye, but we're gonna go with the top line over the eye, which hers is very subtle. So I'm not going to use a heavy line here. I do something very thin right here. Okay, and then I'll also put the eyebrows because it's going to be hard to see the likeness without the eyebrows, right? Okay. Okay. All right. Now we're going to draw we're going to actually hint at the bottom of the eye. I've started using, instead of putting the line at the bottom of my eye, I like to leave them open like that. I feel like too much line around the eye kind of kills the effect a little bit. So that's just something that I recently started doing. I saw another artist doing that, and I was like, that really makes sense, especially when drawing like people of Asian descent. You really want to have, you don't want to have too much lines around the eye because then it kills the effect of the eye almost like so. So I'm just going to do some simple eyelashes here on the end, right? Okay. And then, shoot, look at that. Then we can just do some little eyelashes right here. Right, like that. Okay. And look at it. We got some good eyes right there, okay? All right. So what we got to do is just kind of color in the pupils, and we can just use our little gray marker to do that. Okay. So many different ways you can approach the eye. You know what I mean? So it's incredible. I've had a lot of different tips and tricks over the years that you guys have probably seen me do. Everything from the tree leaf to the equal sign. There's so many different ways. So I really like this way right here. So really, I just kind of morph them all together, and I have them in my trick bag, if you will, to be able to help me to do them. So let's go to another one. We're not going to do. You know what? I'll tell you what. We'll do that, and then we'll do. Maybe we'll put. No, we said we're going to do eyes. Let's stay with eyes. All right. So now these eyes look a little bit different than those eyes, right? So this is what we're going to do here. All right, let's go ahead and get our eyebrows out. So we're going to go like this. Kind of like two little hooks right here, right? And then we're just going to not make them super thick. But the way that they're angled is definitely something that stands out to me, okay? Now, the shape that I'm going to be using for these eyes are going to be pretty much this shape here. This parallelogram shape, okay? And so we'll do like this. Or, you know what? Yeah, it is the parallelogram shape, but I'm just going to kind of twist it up a little bit like this. So this is the top of the eye. Okay? And then we can put our eye in there like this, remember? And like this. Okay. And then like this. And like this. Okay. So something that a lot of times I think that we got to understand about eyes is the feeling of the eye is all really a lot, or the likeness of the eye is a lot of times dependent upon how much of the pupil in the eye shows. So if you think about the eye, the moon, let's put it like this. Let's say you think about the moon. Well, you got a full moon, right? And then then you got a crescent moon, right? And then you got a half moon, right? You know what I'm saying? And then you got like all different kinds, but these are just different moons. Well, this is kind of how the eye behaves. So based off of how much of this piece of the eye is showing will give us a different feeling of the eye. And so when we draw a caricature, let's say we draw a picture where we have an eye shape, for instance, like the parallelogram, right? but we draw the eye all the way in the middle like this. Well, generally you'll see a full exposure of the eye in a surprised or shocking kind of a way. So anytime you see everything at once, when you open your eyes up, that means that you usually look pretty shocked. Most people look buggy eyed, like they look like a bug, like a, you know what I mean, when they have eyes like that. But then if I do that same shape, right, and then inside of that shape I go to maybe a half moon, so you can only see half of the shape. So that means you can only see half of the pupil. Well, then it begins to look kind of like this, it generally, this is a shape, a really good go-to shape, especially when drawing ladies. Ladies like to have that look in there. You know what I mean? It's the whole, I don't know, it's this look that they got going on now. I don't know. Not all ladies. I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean. You know, right? If you see them with long eyelashes on, the ones that go way out here, just go ahead and put these eyes on them. They'll be fine. All right. Now let's go ahead and finish drawing these eyes up here. So we're gonna put the same little eyelash shape here. So I just draw. I think of these like a little paintbrush on the end of the eye. You know, a little paintbrush action there. Okay. And then over the top of the eye, I'll put this little shape here, right? This little line here, which is very subtle. And it's also, I'm noticing at the front of the curve of the eye. So we want that shape to be here somewhere. Okay, you see? And then all we have to do is we'll hint at the back of the eye, right? Like that. But we won't close it off, okay? We won't close it off. We'll just leave it so that we can add little eyelashes around. Okay, and maybe some lighting in the eye. I might put some here, okay? So I'm not drawing exactly what I'm looking at. I'm drawing for a feeling that I want, which is another thing that I should have put down here. For your likeness, you have your head shape, your feature pacing, your size, and most of all, and equally as important is also feeling. So caricature is one of those things. It's hard to see the right side of the paper. Okay. Let me move over just a bit. Thank you, Cherish, for letting me know that. Okay. Is that better? Awesome. Okay. And don't forget, guys, tips are appreciated. If you want to give, you can give through Cash App, Patreon. Also, join one of our Patreon tiers. That'll be an awesome way to help out, guys, to support your caricature art teacher. All right, so let's go ahead and we're looking back at this eye again. All right, so and what we were talking about was feeling. What's also equally important is our feeling. So the caricature, again, is one of those art forms that you are allowed to draw. You can use your feelings to make decisions, right? You get what I mean? So to speak, right? Because feelings have a dual purpose. There, number one, I think scripturally, is feelings are made to indicate something, kind of like a check engine light in your car. Okay, and so that is what I mean. In other words, you are drawing based off of what you feel about their face, not about your feeling, but what you feel about their face. So every feature in their face, because we're communicative mammals, we communicate with each other, and we communicate a lot through expressions and things. You know what I mean? So in this, we base a lot of things off how things look and feel to us. So because we do that, those things show through our shapes, and so that's why you can take a picture of yourself one day and then look completely different in another picture, but that's still your face, but you look different. Everybody look at the picture and say, that doesn't really look like you. You know what I mean? That's because your face is giving off a different feeling that day. So you have to be in tune with the feelings of the face, and in order for you to do that, well, you gotta I think you guys got to get out and talk to people. You got to intermingle with people. I think that's what gives me a very, um, um, I think that gives me, how can I put this carefully? It gives me an advantage to drawing the face because I'm always, because I've been doing it so long, I read a lot of faces. Plus, I've been places in my life where I've had to read faces in order to survive. I had to know who was this way, who was feeling that way. You know what I mean? I've been in different places that honed that skill for me over the years, and then I think part of it is just, I don't know. Some people have it, and some people don't. Maybe some people cannot read a room, man. You know, they'll be talking to you and they can't tell this person is pissed off. You need to stop right now. All right. So anyway, these eyes right here, I would, if I had to label what I feel when I look at these, I feel some type of, I feel, for lack of a better word, I feel some type of, like a seductive type of look. Okay, think of a pinup girl, or you get what I mean. So Marilyn Monroe, right? This is what I feel when I look at those eyes. So uh, again, if I want this particular feeling, I have to understand that feeling is tied to this concept that I just showed you here. Feelings are attached to how much of the moon or how much of your round colored part of your eye you can see. Not the white part, but the colored part. Okay? So, and obviously, if you use less of the round part, you're going to see more of the white part. So you have to understand that too when you are drawing. So here you'll see that the eye is touching the bottom of the shape here. Here I left this line out, so it's really kind of ambiguous. But what does that give me the ability to do? Well, it gives me the ability to create shadow lines. So let's say I wanted to color these eyes in, and let's say I wanted to put this line here like this, right? Well, now that could be the line underneath the eye, and it's not as what's the word I'm looking? It's not as drawing as the rest of the lines of the eye, so it doesn't really kill the effect. So I've learned to make my shadows in the eye at the bottom and top of the eye, and just leave that line out. Really unnecessary for it to use it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. All right. So that's eye set number 2. All right. So let's go over here to another set of eyes. I guess we want to. Okay. So here, I think we did his picture last week. In fact, you know what I want to do? I want to. A lot of these we already did. I want to go to the ones that I didn't really discuss that much. Okay, let's look at this guy's eyes right here. Okay, so you know why I picked this eye? These eyes are eyes you're going to see when somebody's smiling. A lot of times you'll see somebody smile, and you won't see much of their eye shape at all when people smile. Okay, well, why is that? Because smiling is a feeling, right? So what does that mean as far as our moon when we are smiling? Well, that means that when the moon is small, right? Or when the moon is almost like flattened like this, right? Okay, so this is like a center of the moon cut out, kind of. You get what I mean? Like a center of the moon. It's very small, and that means that there's something about that's tied that particular part of the eye or that particular pose of the moon that induces happiness, right? And I don't know. I was trying to think of something fly to say about that, but I just really can't think of it right now, which is very uncharacteristic of me. But it means that the person is usually going to be smiling, or they're going to be intently looking at something. Okay. So, oh yeah, this is what I was thinking. All right, check this out. So inside of your eye, right, you have a I can't remember. Is that the iris or is that the pupil? That's the iris, right? I think that's the iris. Let me see. What is that called? Let me see. Let's look at the. I'm not a science guy, man. I forgot this parts of name. Let me see. Let's look up eye parts. Eye anatomy. Okay, let's look up, let's go to images, and then let's pick, okay, let's save that image, and then we will open it up. All right. So inside of the eye, right, you got the blue part, which is the iris. So this, wait. Let's do it like this. Okay, so you got the, I'm going to do this again so it'll be bigger. Okay, so let's make it a little bit bigger. All right, so you got the whole eye. Okay, this is the blue part of the eye. Okay. And this blue part is called the iris. Okay. And then inside of that, you have a dark space like this called a pupil. Okay. When someone is smiling or when they're intently focused on something, they want to beam in on it, right? What they're doing is they're wanting to utilize this part of the eye more. They want to center all the energy into this little space. And in order, all the light needs to go right into this part right here. So what's happening is that your eyelid says, okay, we're going to shut everything down so that it goes right here, okay? Whatever the shape of your eye is, but this is generally what the eye is doing. So if I'm drawing him, right, this is his eyebrows. Okay. Then we have his eyes. Now watch what's happening here. Okay, I'm going to draw the top of the eye. Okay. And then I'm going to draw the middle of the eye. Okay. That is the little piece of the pupil that I'm seeing in there. I don't need the rest of this eye, to be honest with you. I could just do the top of it like this. Okay. So what I did was this shape inside of here is literally this ball right here, but it's a piece of it. So all I did was I said, okay, I'm going to cut out everything except this much of it. I'm just blowing it up for you. Okay. But I just squeezed it down. Okay. I cut this shape out of the eye. So I'm leaving that. I didn't actually draw the bottom part of the eye. I just drew the eyeball, right? Okay. Or the iris, right? And the pupil. And I drew the iris and the pupil shape that I wanted so I could get that feeling in the eye. Does that make sense? Did I say that right? All right. So from there, watch. All I have to do is this. Right? And you can see with just very few lines, I'm able to get a pretty good likeness of that shape. Now, the cool part about this is that this is pretty universal to anybody that's smiling. So now, do you have to go back and reinterpret the eye every time somebody sits in front of you? No, because these are all interchangeable based, because we can't, the emotion tree is very limited. It's either happy, sad, angry, you know what I'm saying? Happy, sad, angry, happy, sad, angry, intent, or confusion. But even with confusion, you have your eyebrows kind of go like this, and maybe, I don't know, what is somebody that look confused? If I'm confused, I'm like, right? I'm confused. That's a look of confusion. And which Could also mean this shape here, but with different eyebrows. So maybe I might go like this if I wanted to have confusion. Look. And maybe I might look off to the side a little bit. Right? Or I could have confusion like this. I'm thinking. But that's more of a thinking. This is more confusion. Right? This is more thinking. So you got to get in touch with your emoji side. You know what I mean? The best way to explain this is to look at some emojis and then you can see what I'm talking about, right? All right, so let me see here. Let's go to another face here. All right, let's go to these eyes, okay? Now, obviously, she's probably Asian, I would think. Maybe. Is she Asian? She looks Asian to me. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and flip it over here. Or we could just put this over here to the side. Okay. And then we'll talk about her eyes real quick. So what do her eyes say to me? Again, where are we at? But definitely we're going to go with seductive. We're going to go with Marilyn Monroe. What does that mean? That doesn't mean that the eye shape is the same. It just means how much of the eye that's showing, how much of the iris that is showing in the pupil. So basically with seductive shapes, I want half iris, half pupil. Right? Like an Arnold Palmer. I want half lemonade, half tea, right? So when I'm drawing this, if this is the top of my shape, I want half pupil, I want half iris, half pupil. Okay? That's what this eye shape is. Don't think about it too much. That's all you got to know. Okay, so when we go back here, where we draw her eyebrows, because assuming that we get everything right in spacing and time, right? We could do this, and then we'll draw the top of the eye, right? Half iris, half pupil. Half iris, half pupil, okay? And then we'll draw the top line up. We'll draw the shape of the eye around it. So we might go like this and like that, and like this and like that. And then I might do something like this and like this. Here, a very light line around the top of the eye. And some eyelashes, okay? I don't really need the bottom part of the eye, right? Doesn't make any sense. And then all I have to do here is I can go ahead and color these in a little bit from the side because she has kind of dark color eyes, right? And you can see that I'm able to get a likeness to her eyes pretty darn quickly when I understand the concept. What is her eye feeling? So now I could draw this eye bigger if I wanted to. I could do it with more. So let's just say I'm doing this. I'm going to do it with more life, right? I might do this here. Doesn't matter. Watch. Half, 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 right? Okay. And then I can just color this in. Okay. You see how it still looks like her. Even though I went with a bigger shape because I stuck to what I was feeling. And I used the rules of feelings, right? To draw this particular picture. Okay, that's why again we can look different in different pictures. Okay? All right, so let me see here. Let's go over to our next picture here, okay? So, give me just a sec, guys. I'll be right. Hold on one sec. I'm going to finish this up here because I don't look like there's many people here. So, I'm going to go there. I'm going to post that for, and we'll create the wheel later. Let's go back here. Let's go to Instagram Live. All right. So, yeah. I'm gonna try Instagram for a little bit because it looked like Facebook was pretty not much there yet, right? All right. So, anywho, let me just adjust my camera. All right. All right. So anyway, we're talking about these eyes. Okay, Simone. So this is really was meant to be a warm up exercise, but again, guys, remember we're talking about the likeness, and we're talking about your likeness always being attached to a feeling. Okay, so what is it? Stop looking at the face and thinking I got to draw this exact shape, this exact thing, or this exact. You have to at some. It's decision making is part emotional and is part logical. Okay. In other words, you can enter a situation and you can know what to say intellectually. You're a smart person, so you can walk into a situation. Somebody can tell you a problem, and you can understand exactly what's going on at the top. Okay, for instance, two ladies are talking. One lady shares the other lady about a relationship situation. The one lady is older, she's wiser as far as relationship is gone. She's been in a relationship for a while, and she looks at her and she can hear in the way that the story is being explained that the lady, though she is telling her the story, she's making it seem like she's completely innocent of everything in the situation. But the lady that's sitting across from her knows better, and she can hear the inconsistency in the story. She knows that she's lying, and she wants to tell her that really what happened in this situation is totally your fault, right? But and she wants to say, you tripping, this is all your fault. But she has to consider the timing, and is this the right time? Is this person ready to receive? Because the thing is that, you know what I mean? So now she has to use the feeling part of her to say, okay, well, either I'm not going to say this right now because it's not the right time, or I have to really use specific words to be able to say this to this person so that they will receive it, because that would be the object of having a conversation. So it's the same thing that you would do in real life in drawing. And what I like to do is I like to take my students into that realm of understanding that drawing is not separate from life, but it is one and the same. It is using your emotions and your feelings, and you're combining them together, right, to solve problems. Okay, because there's some things that you can. Well, for instance, I get a lot of my students to say, I'm very analytical in my drawings. I can't stop drawing exactly what I see. And I'll tell them that's because you're not allowing any of your emotions you're not relying on your instinct. You're only logically trying to do everything. And unfortunately, life is not completely logical. In some places in life, really, to be honest with you, we need our feelings to indicate to us danger. We need you know what I mean? That's what your feelings are for. Your feelings are indicators of when to say something, why to say something, how should I say something. That's what feelings are made for. Or maybe something that I'm feeling. What am I feeling in this moment, right? And therefore, if I'm feeling this in that moment, maybe I shouldn't say something. You get what I mean? So it's all about that. All right. So, hey guys, what's going on Instagram? We're warming up right now. We're on the live stream on YouTube, so just want to let you guys know what we are doing. Let me see here. Also, guys, again, don't forget, if you are been following me for a while or whatever, and you would like to tip, you can tip through Cash App. Also, guys, we do have a Patreon page. Our Patreon, I believe our lowest tier is like only $5 a month. And what the heck, you're getting free art lessons, and if you want to find a way to give back, or this would be an excellent way to do that. We just incurred a pretty hefty bill. We need to get the roof replaced on the house, so we're doing a campaign to try to help raise money through our fans. So if you guys are wanting to help out with that, again, don't forget that this is an excellent way to be able to do it through the Cash App, through the Patreon. Okay, I just want to put that information out there for you so you guys can see it, so that you'll know what's going on with me. All right. So let's go to our next set of eyes, and then after this, we'll go ahead and go into drawing some. We've been talking about likenesses, so we're gonna first off start with talking a little bit about the head shape. We're going to talk about the four things. We're going to talk about the head shape. We're going to talk about the feature placement. We're going to be talking about size of features, what you can do as far as the size of those features are concerned, and of course, feeling. Okay, so I think that feeling ought to be right on actually at the top of the list, because every shape has a feeling, and if you don't get that feeling correct, then you're going to miss the likeness of your drawing. Okay, this in particular part is talking about the likeness of the eye. Okay. All right. So again, we already talked about the pupil, and we gave you the analogy of the moon. Remember, the moon is actually the pupil, the iris. Excuse me. The moon is the iris of the eye, or the colored part of your eye, and based off of how much of your iris and pupil that you can see, that dictates different feelings in the person. This is how FBI agents look at you and tell whether you're lying or not, right? Because you do certain things to give off signals about what you feel. And believe it or not, we do it every day, but we just don't understand that we're doing it because we don't know the science of it all. But we do these signals, and we give off these signals to people every day, and they just give away what we're thinking. You know what I mean? If you're attracted to somebody, right? If a person knows what to look for, they can tell right off the back from your behavior without you ever opening your mouth what you are thinking. You get what I'm saying? Or what you're about to do. What's your next move? You know what I mean? So that's how it goes. All right, so let's go to our next eye shape. All right, so we did her eye shape. Let's go to, I'll tell you what. Now we'll look at this right here. Now what happens when you don't want to see anything? Well, quite naturally, when you don't want to see anything, what do? Well, you close your eyes. All right. All right. Now, the thing is, if you're thinking like a cartoon, let's put two circles. Let's put two. You got two eyeballs right here. Okay. You just think it could be anybody's eyeballs. Okay. All right. Now, when you smile, when you are or don't want to see anything, where your eyes close, which means that there's no pupil. There's no iris showing. There's no nothing showing. So what naturally happens is that you get a straight line like this, right? Okay. So this round part, obviously you're not seeing that because that's hidden by skin. What you are seeing though is the line that makes when you close your eyes, okay? And then all these little wrinkles around here, right? What this is telling me, let me tell you what this is telling me. That all right, watch this. These are the eyes, right? This is the closed part of your eye. What this line is telling me is that if this whole thing is your eye, your eyebrows are literally sitting on top of these eyeballs like this. Literally. Okay? Even though I can't see the circle, that's where the eyeball is. Your eyebrows are. And then these lines at the bottom are just lines that are indicating to me where the bottom of the circle is. That's all these lines are at the bottom of the eye, right? It's just telling me this is the bottom of the eye and this is the top of the eye. So this is what your eyebrows are kind of used for. You get what I mean? To indicate the circular part or pattern around the eye. Okay, this is why when you draw the eye, boom, boom, right? This is the circle of the eye. This is the actual eyeball, right? So we can see that our eye and our eyebrows are interconnected to one another because they give us the emotional, the thought behind the face, okay? All right. Yeah. I may have to send that. Thank you, Cheers. Good idea. So when I'm doing like this, right, this might be the whole shape. But normally with this shape right here, I'm actually seeing a little bit more of this, and then you would see this because you would see more of the pupil and more of the iris here in this particular situation. Okay, so with this situation, when we draw her, this is what we're doing. We're going simply like this. We're going This is the shape around. These are the eyeballs, and because there are really truly no straight lines around the eye, because you always drawing on a, you always want to kind of curve your shape a little bit. So even though it looks straight here, you want to curve it. Okay. Now hers are actually curving. Let's say we'll do this. See, because we're not. There's no actual straight line. It looks more realistic when you curve it versus doing it straight like this. And then her eyelashes are kind of coming down here like this, right? Her eyes are going like this. You see? And then this is indicating to me the bottom of the eye shape. Okay? So if you're having a hard time thinking about this, just think of when you're first thinking of drawing eyes, always think about your person wearing glasses, maybe some round spectacles. And then that might be able to help you out. So if you think of somebody, let's say this is a head shape, right? And you put a person they got some big, eyes, right? That might be a funny caricature. You might put their eyes inside of here, right? Okay. And then you know what I'm saying? Until you get the concept correctly. You can think of people wearing different types of glasses. You can do this and make some small glasses. Okay, this is the round part of the eye. What are you seeing here, right? If a person has seductive eyes, right, then these are the kind of glasses they would have. Okay, and then you would only see this much of their eye in the glasses. This would be their eyebrows. This would be this, right? Right? So this might be like these eyes here. So watch. Look at these. See her eyes here? Now these eyes here, she doesn't have that look to me of she has more of an innocent look to her eye. So I don't know. Let me see if I could get away with that with this eye. Could I still do that? Let me see. So let's just say I got these eyes here. No, I wouldn't do that. I would go with something round on her, like this. And then when I go with the round shape, I go ahead and put these on here, right? And then I'll put my eyeball in here. I wouldn't want to see a lot of her eyeball in there. So she has glasses on, right? And the top of your glasses are where her eyes at. Now I might wrap around it, right? And make the top and the side a little bit dark, but that would be kind of how I would think about her eyes, right? She got a pair of glasses on. And that'll help you to understand this concept a little bit better. Okay? All right, so let me see here. All right, so let's draw some faces together. We're going to go with the entirety of the face. I think that I'm ready to go now. So let me see here. All right, let me see. So I think I'm going to I want to get some new faces today. So let's go to Earth's World. They always have good pictures on Earth's World. Earth's World photo images. All right, so we'll start out with let's do this guy right here. He looks like a pretty cool character, right? All right, so how would I draw his face? All right, so number one, I'm looking at what do I feel about his face, okay? What do I feel about the shape of his face? So with this one, so I can control the size of the drawing, I might start up here. And I'm just thinking of the hat by itself at this point. I'm not looking at the face or anything because each shape is its own thing. So the hat, I have to look at the hat as its own shape or I will get confused about what I'm drawing. So you have to think of caricature like that. You can't think in terms of you think in terms of overall idea, but you're also thinking in terms of individual shapes, right? Oh, okay. James Thomas. I never seen that. Was he in the comment? What video was that? You have to send me the link to the video he did that on. So once I draw the hat, now it's just a matter of me looking at the rest of the picture and saying, okay, well, this is kind of overall what this person is shaped like. Okay. Okay. We're just going to keep it simple. Okay. Here we're going to do simple caricature. So this is what I get as a feeling for my overall caricature. All right. So once I have that, now my brain's able to kind of put together where other things are going to go. Okay. So let's say I want to find a nice central location, so make sure all my features fit nice. So I might start here with my nose shape and say, well, what do I want to do? He doesn't have a big nose to me. He has his nose feels kind of actually skinny and long with a round tip on it. So that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with my feeling about that nose. Okay. Okay. And I don't know, maybe we can do he looks kind of, his mouth shape seems very serious, nothing really joyful about that smile right there. In fact, I don't think he likes getting his picture taken. So we're just going to do a simple beard shape, right? And then we're going to do something where his beard is kind of overlapping everything here. Okay. And then he has like this line going on here. And then he has some little hair coming like this. Okay, so we keeping this drawing very simple. Okay. All right, now what am I feeling about his eyebrows? Okay, I know his eyes. Remember, if I think about his eyes as glasses, right? I'm thinking of first thing I'm going to do is this. I'm thinking, okay, there's an eye patch here. Okay. And then I'm seeing that there's like a little line coming through here like this to his ear. Okay. So now what am I thinking? I'm thinking about what is the emotion he's feeling. Well, he looks kind of pissed off a little bit, right? He looks very serious, right? So how would I express that emotion? Well, what I would do, I would first of all make my eyebrow kind of interact with my circle shape a little bit. So remember, he has glasses on. Remember, we're going to act like we're going to act like this is his eye right here. Like he has glasses. There's another lens underneath there. So he has like little glasses like this. Okay? This is what we want to see when we're drawing the picture at first. Okay? What kind of little glasses would he have on? Okay? All right. And so we'll go here and we'll put our eye shape in. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go inside of that shape, and we're going to cut out how much of the eyeball we want to see. All right. So in this particular shape right here, I'm looking at a 50-50, a 50% type of idea, right? So I would draw the top of the eye. I would draw this shape here. Okay. You know why? Because it's easy for the eye to intersect with each other right there at that point. You see where this is bending down and this one's going up? This will give me the best use of the dead space between the eye and the eyebrow itself, or the eye and the eyeball itself. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with a 50% pupil, but I'm going to also go with a square shape because square shapes tend to look more menacing. You see how I drew the eyeball in a square, I'm going to get used to saying this. How I drew the iris in a square shape, Okay, because square shapes are going to make you look more serious than round shapes. So if a person has a serious look, you don't want to draw a round shape because they're going to look too whimsical. If you look here, look, even if I do the same thing here, okay, it does kind of look like it, but it doesn't capture it like this. You get what I'm saying? This looks a little bit more whimsical. This looks a little bit more serious. You get what I mean? See how serious that looks versus this one? Okay, look at take in the feeling of it, right? So now I'm not going to draw the underside of the eye. I'm just going to do something like that. And then now I'm indicating to myself based off of the glasses where my eyeball is. So this is I literally drew two eyeballs, right? And attached them together and called them glasses. And then I cut out a piece of my glasses to make the eye. Does that make sense what I said? Oh, you did? Let me see. I have to check that out. Okay, hold on a second. Hold on one second, guys. I'm trying to find. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. I appreciate it, Cherish. Okay, I got it right here. Okay, I got it. All right. Okay. All right. So, pretty much, that's how I would approach this picture and keep it simple. Okay. So, let's go back through that again. Gotta make sure I keep track of the time. 9:52. So, I want to start wrapping up probably about. I started at 8:30, 9:30. I want to end about 10:30. So I got just a few more minutes here. Okay. So remember, just whatever type of glasses you want. So if you got your head shape, okay, you draw your head shape. You want to put your glasses, right? If a person has small eyes, think about it like small glasses, and then you put your nose shape based off of those glasses, right? And then your ear shape or whatever, and your forehead shape, right? And then inside of those, you think about, well, do I want somebody to be looking intently at something? So now you got somebody looking at something intently, right? So you would be like this here. See how that looks intent, right? So your eye shape is what I'm trying to say is your eye shape's always changing, and to because you're constantly making observations about things around you. So that's how you want to draw your caricature. If you rely just on your knowledge of drawing, like how smart you are, and you don't have any feeling behind your drawing, your drawings is going to look like flat drawings. They might look something like the person, but it's not going to have that same impact. You know what I mean? All right, so let's just draw a couple of pictures. We're going to draw about 2 or 3 pictures. I'm just going to go through them, and then we'll go ahead and do our word of the day, and then get you guys out of here. All right, let me see here. this picture right here. She looks like, she's like, right? So with her, she kind of looks like this a little bit, right? So what would I do with this shape here? I look at her overall shape. All right, so maybe with this one, I might start with the little ball she has up here. Okay, and then from here, I might look at her hair shape. So I'm looking at the shape of her forehead, or I could just do the whole head. So let's just do like this. Okay, I'll do something like this. As long as it's close, it doesn't matter. Okay, then we're gonna look at the shape of her ears. I would say something straight up and down for sure, right? Okay, and then I would do something kind of house shaped down here. Okay, so this is what she kind of looks like as a cartoon, right? Already. Okay, so now we'll go to our hairline. So I might do something like this. This is what I feel. That this is very round in nature, right? I feel like this is round. So not a lot of hard turns in that hairline, right? And I feel an air of, I feel like a coyness almost in her eye, you know? So what I want to do is I want to draw a shape like this, right? But also, let's look at this. Let's look at her eyes. Okay, let's put her glasses here. Because it doesn't matter that her eyes are interacting with the shape. In the picture, I can push that envelope a little bit. So what's happening here? This is the eyeglasses. Remember that we're pretending that she has on in our head. Okay, so what we can do here? She doesn't have very big eyes either. Even though we could make them bigger, I guess I'll just do that just for the sake of the picture, but just to make it a little bit more. Okay, so I'll just make it like this. Okay, so she has some little round glasses on, and this is going to again represent our iris. Okay, these glasses will. So now we're going to cut out. We want how much of this iris are we actually seeing? Okay, so what we're seeing here is we're seeing she's looking this way, obviously. Okay, and then she's kind of intent. So we want a shape where we don't see but maybe a strip of the eye like this. Okay, but we can use the side of it, right, to give us depth, and then we're going to take the other part here, and we're not going to actually close it off. We're just going to leave this part here showing, and then we add our little circle over the top here, and this is like that bulbiness over the eye. So you can see how we were able to get a pretty cool caricature of her just by pretending she had on some type of like, what do they call those glasses? Like what do they call the round glasses? Anybody remember those? Look like the Sherlock Holmes used to wear them, right? I don't know what it's called, but the little round glasses, and then you could again make those in the image of a pupil or iris in your head, and then how much of that is going to be showing is going to tell you what to do with your picture. So here, now we have our nose shape. Okay, so her nose shape to me feels very kind of like a dull arrow, like this. This is what I'm seeing here. And then she's got like a little earring, right? And then she has like a lot of, like, this part of her nose is the most outstanding to me, the outside, and then you'll come here and just kind of come down. Now, as far as her lips look very pursed outward. Okay, so what happens when something is? It looks like her lips are kind of pointing outward. Okay, so in order for me to kind of get that, I'd have to think about. Let me see. Maybe my lips want to be squished in some, so I can't go this way. I would have to squish them in. So I would need for my lip to come out, and let me see. something like that. I don't know. Or maybe if I do like this, let me see. Okay, there we go. Like that. So pretty much, you got a good cartoon of her, right? And then you just put some eyelashes on there, and you got her eye. So you're not going to, in this particular eye right here, the great thing about doing it with these circles first is that you can see and make the eye point in a direction that you want it to go in. A lot of artists have a problem doing that. So that's just a way to be able to solve that issue. Okay? All right. Let me see. Oh yeah, it's 10. Okay. So guys, what I'm gonna do, because I want to go ahead and make sure I have plenty of time for my word of the day. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're going to we'll draw one more face and then we're gonna do our word of the day. Okay, and that'll give me enough time to get out the door so I can get to practice on time. Let me see. Let's go to. All right, let's look at this guy's face here. Say he sat down. He was gonna get drawn, right? Okay. I would look again at the whole shape of his head. So his head looks like an ice cream cone to me. It looks like a giant ice cream cone, to be honest with you. Like this is like this is no matter what shape this is like my ice cream up here. Okay. And then his ears kind of poke out a little bit like this. Right? But then the rest of it is pretty much an ice cream cone. And then the ice cream cone has a mustache or a goatee on the bottom. So that's what I'm thinking when I draw his picture. Okay, and then from here, then I start working on all the other stuff. So let's say I want to go with my nose shape. His nose shape looks very pointy to me like this. All right, and then he has like these swooping lines that come down like this. Now his mouth shape, I'm not going to be insulting to him. It kind of looks like like this shape here, and then this one right here. Okay, and then he has his teeth kind of. Something like that, right? Okay. And then he has like some little hairs right here. All right. Now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna draw his hit the bridge of his nose, and then I'm gonna put some round glasses on him. Right. So this will tell me if I drew his eyes in the most basic way, how would I draw them, right? Okay. And then we can see here that his eyes are looking over here like this. Okay, so now we know where the eyes are looking. Now, what's the next thing that we want to do? We want to make our eyeballs interact with that shape. So watch this. Okay. All right. Now, once we interact with that shape, we fill in the eyebrows. It's also going to help us to see how much of our iris is going to be showing, because remember, the glasses are just simply irises. So with this one, we got an intent look here. So we know one thing: we want our eye to interact with our shape, with our eyebrow shape. So we already know that line. And then the bottom line is going to come straight across like this. Okay. So now all we have to do is put his actual glasses, which are at this angle here. Okay. And then we got these cheekbones here. Okay, so from here, all I have to do is put his brow line, and then you can see here that he has a really square kind of a forehead that does like this. Okay. All right, so you see how our picture just came together real easy when you think about it like that. Okay? But you got to be thinking about those glasses on the face. So I'm hoping that helped you out. Remember, just at the end, all your caricatures are your eyes, and your likeness is shapes, what those shapes feel like to you, first of all, and then relationships. And so the best thing I can tell you about relationships is they're kind of connect the dot-ish. So if I don't know where something goes, I'm not going to draw it until I give myself a landmark. So for instance, if I'm drawing his hair, for instance, right? And I'm looking at this as its shape, and I say, well, I don't really know how long I want to make this face, right? So what I might do is go down here, and I might draw this, and then I'll say, I don't know where to put his nose or whatever. I don't know where I want to put his nose at, or maybe I want to do the outside of the head shape, so I can see this. So now I can say, okay, well, I can see ears, they go about right here in relation to that shape. And then I can see these cheekbones go right here in relation to these shapes. And then I can see this go like this in relation to that shape. You see what I'm saying? So that's how you bring it all together. You just have to play the relationship game. You don't always have to start and be like, oh, I'm going to get it perfect all the way around. Sometimes just give yourself landmarks and you should be fine. All right, so guys, I want you to give me a moment here. I'm going to go ahead and it's 10:06. So let's go ahead and get ready for our word of the day. I'll be right back in just a moment. What's today? Today's the 10th. It is August 10th. All right, guys. So we are back. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off my music real quick here, and we are ready for our word of the day. So let's go ahead and turn that off. And so we're gonna be coming. I'm gonna share my devotional with you. If you guys have never been to one of my streams before, at the end of the stream, I share a little bit of my faith with you, in the hopes that that faith will bring you out of maybe a place that you're in right now, mentally, spiritually, and that it will draw you closer to God. That is the reason that we do this channel, is to bring to minister to people, and then I feel like art's just kind of a commonality type of a thing, and so that's something that we both can relate to if you're new here, and that we can you can use to get to know me, because I feel like, why would you want to receive from me unless we have something that's tying us together. And so that's what we're going to do today. So we're going to go to our Bible real fast. We're not going to make this long. We're going to go to the book of Psalms. So if you guys are new to your Bibles, like Psalms and then Proverbs, right? So we're going to go to Psalms, and we're going to go to Psalms 25. Psalms 25. And then we're going to go to verses 4 through 5. And today our word of the day is from point A to point B. From point A to point B. It says in Psalms 25, 4 through 5, show me the right path, O Lord. Point out the road to me to follow. Lead me by your truth and teach me, for you are the God who saves me. All day long I put my hope in you. Wow, that means a lot to me. That's a very good scripture, because to be honest with you, a lot of times in my life, I've always tried to do things my way, and my way always got me really pretty bad results. There's a way that seems right to a person, but leads to death, or leads to darkness, or leads them further out into the water, even though it seems right to them. Lead me in your truth. Let your truth teach me. So it's kind of like drawing. With drawing caricature specifically, since we're talking about caricature, a lot of drawing caricature is knowing, drawing what you know and not what you see. And so you've never heard, if you have been here before, you probably heard me say that. But just to give you an example, I told you when you're drawing an eye, right? Okay. To when the eye is shut, it makes a line like a shut line. Okay, so it might look like this, and it might look like the person's smiling, right? But in order to draw this convincingly, you can't draw it straight, even though in the picture it appears to be straight. You have to add curvature to the line, because there's no such thing as a straight line in the face. It's all curves. Okay, so that makes what you're drawing look more featurist than this. This looks very straight up and down with no life. This looks like it added life. And in the picture, it's going to appear like this. This is what you're looking at. But your knowledge does this. And what God's word does is it gives you knowledge. Okay? Not to say we can never rely on what we see, but we have to rely on it. But when what we're seeing does not line up with the word of God, then we have to go with what we know and override what we are seeing. It's called faith in the word. Okay? So that's what that's really saying to me. It says in math class, you learn that the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. That's true. So let's pretend that you are point A and that I am point B. The quickest way for you to get from point A to point B to me is through the straight line of unwavering trust. So let's just pretend, and this is God's word speaking to us, but it's saying, how do we develop a relationship with God? Okay, well, the word is unwavering trust. That means that there's the truth of the matter, right? And then there's all these illusions that can be shown to you, all these options. You get what I mean? in my house, right? My kids, we wake up in the morning, we have breakfast. Okay, we pretty much eat the same thing for breakfast most of the time. All right, so um, I don't give my kids don't get a lot of options when it comes to, because they need a parent. They don't need a friend. So I have to. My job as their parent is to guide them and to teach them what the truth is, because when they get to the world, they're going to have a lot of options, and those options, right, are not necessarily. Let's just talk about your health. Fried chicken, Chinese food, pizzas, donuts, all this stuff all day long. Yeah, they might taste great. They might make you feel good in the moment, but you're going to kill yourself very fast. You're going to have all kinds of health issues because of when you consume these types of foods. So I know as a parent, those foods out there exist, and I know that they're highly addictive. So my job as a parent is, while he's young, right, I am going to train him, my children, to eat a particular way. This way, no matter what they see in the world, they'll sit around and watch all their friends eat pizza and be like, I'll have that chicken salad. And the rest of their friends are saying, well, why are you going to do that? That's gross, man. And they're going to try to get you to do this, and they're going to try to get you to eat that. But because I have taken the time, and he has that unwavering trust in me to believe in me as his parent, right? Then he's able to reap the benefits regardless to all of the temptations that are going on around him outside. So that's what God is saying. It's saying that when God tells you about your spiritual diet, the diet that you should, the things that you should actually consume in this world, who you should sleep with, why, like, we don't like to talk about things like this, but I'm going to talk about it anyway because it's my stream. So who you're sleeping with, you get what I'm saying? If you're sleeping with somebody and you're not married to them, okay, now that you might have made a place in your life to compromise. Like, in other words, you'll hear the word of God, you'll get convicted by the word of God, right? But then what you'll do is you'll compromise something in your life, or compromise within yourself to make it okay to do whatever it is you're doing. And then you create, I've heard it referred to as a shelter for your sin to live at in your life, so that, and eventually you'll keep doing it and keep doing it until you get desensitized to it. And that's really what's happened to the world. Everybody's saying, oh, it's okay to sleep with somebody. If you're a guy and this is a guy, we can sleep together. Or if I'm married and we're not married, or whatever, it doesn't matter. As long as we're together, it doesn't matter what the world said. All this kind of stuff. It doesn't matter what the actual word of God is saying. This is what the world is doing right now. Okay. So when they operate in this way, they're not trusting in God. They're not trusting in God. They're not going to receive the blessings of God. It's just like this. If you're living with somebody, you can't be blessed. A marriage or a union of a man and a woman will not be blessed if they're not married. They can be blessed again, and I totally believe this. They can be blessed as individuals. Okay, you can this person may receive an individual blessing, this person, but there's a union or a covenant that comes from God that only that covenant will receive these are specific blessings to those that are actually doing it the right way. Okay, so that is what the word of God is saying, that there is no compromise when you are following God in faith. There's no, well, maybe this one time, and I need to get this through my head because I'm just as guilty of this sometimes as other people in different areas of my life. So I'm not poking sticks at anybody, but what I am saying is that what God's word said is what God's word say. Now, anything else outside of that word is just something that you just don't want to listen. You just don't want to do it that way. And so you have made, again, this place of compromise in your life. And every time something challenges a thing that you've got addicted to, right, then you get defensive about it. And then you make this excuse up as to why it should be this way, or that God never considered your point of view before he made this particular rule. Or there are no rules to anything. Everybody can just be whatever they want to be. If horses can be rabbits, dogs can be cats, it doesn't matter. This is the mentality that the world's going into today. So this is what it's talking about when we say from point A to point B. That means that this is how you do it. And then anything you do outside of that is a compromise that you made up. And you're not going to ever get to point B You may get there, but it's going to lead you through pain, if that makes sense to you. For instance, I told my wife the other day, what led me into the life that I'm in now is the pain of my decisions, the disobedience of God, and God used that pain to steer me back into where he wanted me to be in the first place. I didn't even have to, like, if I wish I would have had an art teacher when I was a kid, because I learned a lot of things through art, but from pain. If I would have understood this in the beginning, I wouldn't have done it this way. I would have done it a different way. But that's for a whole other time. But let's go ahead and finish up here. It says the key is unwavering. So when you hear the word of God, whatever the word of God says, when you hear it, right, it is unwavering. It means trusting God constantly, no matter what you think. Okay? In other words, drawing what you know, not what you think. Not what you know, not what you think, but what you know. Not what you can analyze, but what the truth is. Not what, you get what I'm saying? I don't pay, like in my house again, with my kids, I don't pay my kids to make, my kids don't make, me and, that's what we're parents. So we make decisions. So my daughter might say, well, I want to do A, B, C, and D. But we already said that this is the way it's going to be done. But no, it's not a but. It's not a, well, maybe if we, it's not a compromise. It's none of that, because this is the way it is. And the thing is in the world, this is exactly the way it is. Even if you have even if where you work for, they have a skewed, they have a way they do things. And when you come to that job and you sign that line and say, this, I want to work here, right? They have a system already implemented. Okay, if you want to get a paycheck, right, then you got to do it, and they didn't pay you. They're not paying you to think. They're paying you to do it the way that they want you to do it. You get what I mean? And that is as simple as I can put that. Because when your trust unwavers in God, when sometimes you trust me a lot, but other times only a little, and other times you completely forget me, then your straight line of trust starts to have a lot of twists and turns. Okay? Sometimes you trust me, sometimes you won't. Sometimes you trust me, sometimes you won't. And then what's happening is it's taking you longer to get where you needed to go in the first place. So in other words, instead of doing all of this to get to your joy, right, in life, right now I'm operating at a joyous level. I feel happier than I have ever in my life. You know what I mean? And it took me going to jail and all kinds of mess and all kinds of girlfriends and all kinds of craziness that I did in my life. It took me all of this time when I could have been here. Sometimes I think, man, what the hell was I thinking about? Why did I hang out with that person? You know what I mean? What was I thinking? And then I realized this as an older person. You know, when you hit, they say when the Bible says when a man is 50 years old, says you can stand on your square and survey the land. And something happened to me after I turned, after I passed 50. And one of those things was I understood that no matter what the heck I'm doing in life, no matter what it is that I do in life, every thing comes down to one thing, a decision that you have to make. Okay, so people say, well, I don't have no choice because this is the way I want to do it. No, you got a choice. It's just that you don't like your options. You know, you got Brussels sprouts, you got cabbage, you got lettuce, tomatoes, you got beans, you got fruits, you got watermelons, you got all this great stuff over here. Then you got pizza, burgers, and fries, and all the other stuff that can give you diabetes and kill you and put you in medicine for the rest of your life and destroy your quality of life. And not just destroy you, but when you give it to your kids, you're going to destroy their life and make them big and out of shape as well. Those are the options, right? But you don't like the way this tastes. This is the good thing for you, but you just don't like the way it tastes. That's all that is. You don't like the way it tastes, so you don't want to consume that. You rather consume what tastes good right now and be like, well, I'll just hope that God will bail me out. Right? Later on, when I'm really sick, he'll bail me out. Then I'll ask for forgiveness. Oh, God, please bless me when I'm having to get a leg amputated from diabetes. You know what I'm saying? Now you want to get the blessing when the blessing was already with you before you started, but you just kept making the same decision over and over and over again until now this is where you find yourself. Oh, thank you. I needed to hear that. Okay. All right. So it says you can still reach me eventually, right? Yes, that is true. But you will have wasted a lot of time and gone through a lot of unnecessary trouble. When you realize that your trust has wavered, just whisper to yourself or say it to yourself, I trust you, God. I trust you, Jesus. And I will draw you back onto the right path with me. It says, trust me with all your heart, and I will make your path straight. That is actually in the scripture. Trust me with your heart, and I will make your path straight. Okay? So he will get you to where you're trying to go. He'll get you there faster, and he'll get you there safer from point A to point B. So that is our word of the day, guys. I want to thank you so much for coming out to the stream. I'm going to be going out of here to get to praise and worship practice. If you did donate today, guys, in any shape, form, or fashion, I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Cherish, you did an awesome job as usual. I'll be streaming again on Tuesday morning at 9:30 a.m. So if you guys want to get more drawing lessons like these, you guys can come out 9:30 a.m. on Saturday. Just to forget to keep the notifications bell. It'll tell you whenever I go live. Okay. So anyway, guys, y'all have a blessed day, and I will see you guys on Tuesday. Thank you for watching and attending. See you guys next time. Do do do.